was an event pre-pandemic that we didn't have to do that much marketing. For many years, all the hard work of all the people who've come before us turned this into a build it and they would come. All that changed in March of 2020. 2020, we were unable to hold any event. 2021, we pushed it to October. Still a lot of trepidation. So we came back in October of that year with, call it 5,000 runners, compared to 19,000 in 2019 and before. Obviously, a very different Boilermaker on many fronts. 2022, we doubled that number, which was fantastic. So it gives you okay, we're going to get there. So the question becomes how long it's going to take, what that looks like. 2023, we grew to just under 13,000. And this year we had 14,461 people register. So we're seeing the continued year-over-year incremental growth, which is fantastic.
You need a business person running the Boilermaker, but Mark also came on to the Boilermaker before COVID, did a great job following Tim Reed, who'd done a fantastic job as well, stepped into some big shoes, took over the organization, did a really good job, and then managed us through COVID. We were pretty good financially going through COVID, which was a disaster for a lot of us, and now rebuilding the Boilermaker to where we're getting today, and we're back, and I think we're now in a real stage where we can build it back to what it was historically. Mark's done a great job.
When you think about the race, it's more than just the Boilermaker. It's the preparation, it's everyone coming in for the weekend, it's the after party. You go down behind the brewery, you've got 20,000 people, not just in the parking lot, spilling out into the streets, just enjoying Utica for what it truly is on the day of the Boilermaker, a great city to be in. It's been a few years since we're back. The race has been building. After running it over the past decade 9 times myself, I can say that this last race felt like the first one again. The streets were packed, had 1 million spectators cheering you on, and the actual race was packed full of runners. And I think we were just above 10,000 this year in the 15K.
The comment I heard about the Boilermaker this weekend, which I thought was really interesting because we all call it the Boilermaker Road Race, but I was corrected several times by people of, I do road races all over the place. This is an event. And I thought that was really interesting because, the way the Boilermaker is set is it's a great run, but it's a huge event. The party at the brewery is awesome. The beer's great. The band, showtime, fantastic. The flyover, there's an energy that you get done with the race, you're kind of psyched you got done with the race, and you go into this huge parking lot where you've got beer, music, your friends, the whole community celebrating, and it's awesome.
The security around this race was strong, but ever since the Boston Marathon, which has now been over a decade, the level is incredibly large, very hard to explain. There are so many agencies involved, and our security team meets once a month, 12 months a year.
Within the Utica Police Department, it'd be about 120. We have a 170 officer contingent. About 120 of those officers are out on the race course that day. As far as other agencies, I'd say at least another 100. It takes about 200 to 250 officers to secure that race course and to make it safe. This is the premier event for the city of Utica, so we want nothing more than the safety of everybody that comes here. We want this event to continue and prosper for years to come. So the only way to make that happen is to make people feel safe and want to come back. So we absolutely do pride ourselves on keeping everybody safe.
My job is to manage the post-race party. This year it's back, and we've gone through some tough years with COVID. A couple years ago you couldn't get into the post-race party unless you were vaccinated. Since COVID, this is the biggest we've had. The crowd, we were definitely up back over 40,000 people. Showtime does a tremendous job. They bring all these extras in, from the Ben Kidwell, to some of the singers and the horn players, the mayor. It's just a great party celebrating a great week and a great event, and it was all of that this year. It's a good feeling to have it all back.
And until this day, he was the only mayor and he was going to run the Boilermaker.
It's something that everybody embraces. It's a thing we're really proud of. It's brought national attention to this community. And I would say that this area shines on the Boilermaker. I think we shine every day. I'm not so sure we recognize that we shine every day. And I think the area could become one of the boom areas for the future. It's a beautiful place to live. And I think the Boilermaker shows us what we can do when we all come together as a community and celebrate the great stuff we have.
One of the things that's impressed me since stepping into this position is the support we get from our local electeds and their teams, because these guys get it. They get that economic impact. There's a lot of races out there that they're just a pain for cities to protect and do that. But when your administrations, when they understand what it does, and this event has been doing it for years.
On top of the general community involvement, what you really notice is the volunteerism. The Boilermaker Committee, they're working all year round to make sure the race happens, all the other ancillary events happen, but then you go to the expo, you go to the kids run, you pick up your packet if you're a runner, you pick up your bib, and what you see is the community as a whole, the greater Utica area, they're all making the Boilermaker tick. It's the volunteers that count.
It is something that has become much bigger than Earl Reed ever dreamed of. And it is now something that is a unifier. It brings people together, people on both sides of the aisle, if you will. Everybody's to come together and not only want success, but they build around the success. Family reunions. It is something to make us feel good. And you know, right now, we have some things to feel good about. It's been a long time. So maybe it's the Boilermaker over the years that's been that one catalyst that's helped inspire us to keep fighting, to keep moving forward.